With all of the new RMCs that have come out in the past years, us coaster enthusiasts every year always at some time think of what parks could get a new RMC. Starting in 2011, they came out with their first coaster when they converted the Texas Giant into the new Texas Giant, and then from then they took the amusement industry by storm, changing it forever. We all know and love them. They have come out with 19 coasters in the only 8 years they've been making coasters, which is just crazy to think about. And even more are coming in 2022 to be exact. That is Jersey Devil and Iron Gwazi at my home park, Busch Gardens Tampa, that I obviously am super excited for. But what I'll be doing in today's video is basically going through some of the possibilities of what RMC could do in the next years. Though mainly before we start, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and share the channel with your friends for more videos about coasters and much more thrills often. So let's start out with two great contestants at the same park that could be getting the RMC treatment. That's both Mighty Canadian Mindbuster and Wildebeest at Canada's Wonderland. My favorite being Wildebeest because there is that plot of land of Wildebeest. But then, as you see here, there are go-karts, if removed, could give this new RMC way more room, which we have seen parks remove their go-karts recently, and for sure that has worked out for the parks. Think of what they're doing with Iron Gwazi. They're only using 25% of that original structure for the coaster, so they definitely could do that with Wildebeest if they wanted to. Wildebeest, though, in my opinion, is not really a great coaster. It's not the smoothest, even though I actually enjoyed my ride. But taking into account, I do understand RMC is not allowed to work in Canada, which really just kills that chance, but maybe they could work out a deal. It's like same goes for Mighty Canadian Mindbuster, which definitely has a less likely of a chance in my opinion. First of all, it is a good ride, no question, no matter what people say, and it has like a very odd plot of land going through the middle of the water park that just in my opinion doesn't really have a good RMC layout to be giving that treatment to. But my next possibility is Predator at Six Flags Darien Lake, and it for sure has a bad reputation because of its roughness and a pretty boring layout, and I definitely agree with that. When I rode it in the summer of 2018, I absolutely hated it for mainly the roughness, which RMC is definitely known for giving those old and rough coasters a well-needed treatment, and plus this coaster has a very fantastic layout to do so. You could fit tons of great airtime and inversions in that layout. Think of Wicked Cyclone. This coaster could be very similar to that coaster, not in the layout exactly, but those elements could be perfect. This coaster does have a lot of great potential, like I said, for some great airtime hills, inversions, and turns that could make this coaster possibly one of the best RMCs. Now, here's one of my favorite theories, and I'm not saying it has to be soon, maybe like in 2022 or 2023, but that is a ground-up hybrid in Vortex's old spot at Kings Island. Orion is coming in 2020, and that is a very big addition, costing them lots of money, so don't expect that new coaster for multiple years, even though we may want it. If they do it right, they could make it as good as Zadra, because that is also a ground up, and of course it's one of the best coasters in the world, and they do have space for it. As you can see, there's not just the spot where Vortex was, but there's also some room right behind that, like right by the Beast, that could for sure make an incredible RMC ground up hybrid or wooden, but they would probably go with the hybrid because they already have a lot of wooden coasters. Now the boss is Six Flags St. Louis, so for sure, if given the treatment, which I think is not really likely, would make a monster of a hybrid, one of the most incredible coasters out there. The layout already standing as a massive wooden coaster would just be heaven for us coaster enthusiasts with those great drops. They'll just be a fantastic, having so much potential with that layout. Also, for being such a big wooden coaster combined with its age, it has gained roughness, being known for that, which it would definitely be a welcome addition if it was converted into a hybrid. I just don't see that happening. As we now head over to the West Coast, there is at California's Great America a wooden coaster that is not necessarily a bad coaster. That is Gold Striker, no JK. That is a Grizzly, but it's just a boring coaster. Very similar to these other old wooden coasters that are aging and just have been very out of date compared to the innovative coasters today. They just don't stack up. Even though this could happen, I don't really see that layout making the best RMC. Something like Twisted Cyclone is a coaster it could become because of the current layout is similar to what Georgia Cyclone was. Part of this reasoning for me is because Cedar Fair is looking to put money into this park and have a plan for lots of new attractions coming, such as the B&M Hyper that is rumored, but this is definitely cheaper. Another ground up I could see happening is at SeaWorld Orlando, my home park. Now, as you realize, I may be a little biased, but for sure, I think they could get a wooden ground up RMC. They don't really have a wooden coaster or an RMC. Those are two gaps in their lineup that could be a very good fit for the park. As we look, there are not that many spaces at all because of the park is very packed in and because of their location. Take, for example, in the past, we've gotten coaster editions in very compact spaces such as Mako and Icebreaker in those very tight spots. I do, though, see the opportunity of them removing something, maybe like animal encounters being removed for this coaster, because they have been focusing more on coasters than animals recently because of the events that have happened. Something else that could work very, very well is a Raptor, because they are fantastic rides, very small for the space they have, and they are very cheap, something that would favor SeaWorld very well. Also, at IAAPA, they were selling a Raptor for like $500,000, which maybe SeaWorld bought that, but next up, that probably would be very likely to get the RMC treatment is Wildcat at Hershey Park. Even though this was the first GCI coaster, it for sure has not held up compared to the newer creations. It has gained roughness, and overall, it's just a boring layout for being a GCI. Now, other people have said that Hershey Park's other GCI could become an RMC Lightning Racer, but I just think that it's not really likely. And finally, my least favorite possibility is American Eagle being a hybrid, and even though this could be a great RMC, like it has the possibility to do so, I love American Eagle, and the way it is fine. And Six Flags Great America, of course, already has an RMC in their lineup as Goliath. Simple as that. Ending of the video, these are all possibilities and for sure not set in stone, but all of these are options for the parks that I rumored. So what do you think? Make sure to post that in the comments below or post anything else, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe and share the channel to your friends for more videos about coasters and amusement parks often. And see ya!